Welcome to Break Your Fingers Laughing. My name is Owen. We're here with Neighbourhood Youth this morning.
How's it going?
We've got JP and we've got Sam.
Hey there.
How are you guys doing?
Good, thank you very much.
You're good. How are you doing?
Been better, but not too bad. I think my spirit.
Sam's in poor shape and spirit.
Just a bit hungover, but happy to be here.
To start off, just tell us a little bit about Neighbourhood Youth. What are you guys about? What do you sound like?
We've been playing for 5 years.
Yeah.
JP and I have sort of always played together since school. I guess you'd call us an indie rock band.
Big time.
Yeah, but like the last couple of years, we've really sort of touched on lots of different things, especially with the new stuff we're writing. We've become a lot more adventurous, I think. With the music, I guess you'd call it indie rock, but some sort of like psychedelic stuff occasionally.
Yeah, right.
We're pretty guitar centric, so we got two guitars, lots of effects and stuff, so we like playing with all that.
A little bit punky sometimes.
Yeah, okay.
It's pretty eclectic.
So a broad range of kind of influences then, I suppose?
It just depends what we're listening to at the time, I think.
Yeah, we go in stages where we'll be like, hey dude, have you heard this album? I really like this, and we'll both listen to it heaps, and the other guys will listen to it heaps, and then we'll write like that for 2 or 3 songs. And then we'll be like, okay, that we're done with that.
Yeah.
We've written those songs, and then we'll get into another sound or an album. No matter what we're listening to or what it sort of sounds like, it always sounds like us. Which is
Okay. So there's a unique take on that you apply to it through whoever.
There's
through your own
lots of times
sounds.
where we've written stuff and we're like, is this a bit weird? Or like, what's the deal here? And then we listen to it and it always just sounds like us. So.
Yeah, right. So what are you listening to right now? What's been on spinning this week?
I listened to a bunch of new stuff yesterday actually at work. I was listening to that new Brokel.
Brokel Harem, isn't it?
Broken Social Scene.
Yeah.
And also, I've been really liking that new Perfume Genius album.
Oh, okay.
That's Slip Away. Yeah.
The Broken Social Scene one surprised me this week. I threw it on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh crap, this is really interesting.
It's wild, yeah. There's like
but it goes
huge
very
horn
strange
sections in bits, and then some electronic stuff.
You got me into that Big Thief album, which is pretty good. I like the new Father John Misty album. It's pretty wild.
I haven't listened to that.
It's like an hour and a half.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. It's got like 15-minute songs on it. But
Wow.
It's a journey.
There's certain people in close proximity that really hate Father John Misty. Not in this room, no.
Guilty. I was listening to the new Fleet Foxes yesterday as well.
Yeah, they've both got new ones, right?
Yeah. But I think maybe in the last month that Fleet Foxes one came out.
yeah.
But that's really good as
it?
well. Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah.
I find they get a bit like ethereal.
Yeah.
Chanty and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but it was just that little bit too far.
But yeah.
They lost the track of the melody a little bit too much.
Yeah. I think this one's less crowd pleasing, I think. It's a bit like, it's a little bit weirder, but I like that.
Sounds a bit like Grizzly Bear.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I'd say so,
See, that's a better way for Fleet Foxes to go than the way they were going. Grizzly
Definitely,
Bear, great band. So, yeah.
Also, the new King Giz album is sick. I love it. Have you listened to it?
Yeah.
Did you watch I think it was like 6 tracks, the Vomit ones?
I'm not sure if I've seen that one. Was that?
I think it's about 15 minutes in these 6 tracks. And it's got this like robotic voiceover just talking about the apocalypse, and then he's like...
Is that the female voice?
No,
it's the male voice.
Robot voice. And then it goes on this huge tangent.
Yeah, man.
That's a word. About like this robot eventually, like its only wish is to vomit because that's a human action, and then he eventually does vomit, and it's like the apocalypse sort of thing.
Wow, that's on the album.
Yeah.
Shit, I've been listening like the first couple.
Cool,
The amount of output that they have in such a short space of time. So speaking of that, what have you guys got planned for this year? I read on your little PR kind of presser thing that says the single, I suppose. Let's talk about that. Hugo.
Yep.
It's just come out or came out last month.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I guess would probably be a summation of what we've just talked for the last 5 minutes of sound-wise. It's that indie rock, but it's a little bit left of center maybe, and it does kind of take a turn towards the end, or it shifts kind of in a
it's sort of
either
like
upward
second part to it.
But on the presser it says that's kind of the start of your 2017 repertoire.
So we're writing an album at the moment. We've recorded probably 4 or 5 songs off it so far.
Okay.
Written maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah, on top of that.
Will be on it. Yeah, so like we're getting there. Our whole career doing this, we've taken a long time to put music out.
So do you
it's
do
just
opposite
a bit of
of
a process with us. We're the polar opposite to King Giz. We've written a good chunk of the album, and there's lots of, I think, pretty cool stuff on it.
Yeah. So how does that work? Like, to me, in my mind, the most normal or efficient way of doing it is to get all your songs exactly the way you want them, go into a recording studio for a few days, as short a time as possible.
Yeah.
Get them all down.
Yep.
100%, that would be a way better way of doing it.
Okay. So how do you do that?
When we say we
piece by
take a
piece?
long time, that's not it's not good.
It's not
frustrating.
intentional.
So why does it take that long?
It's like a lot of our schedules don't match up, especially recently in the last like 6 or so months. Everyone's just been on sort of different schedules, so it's been really hard to get everyone in the same room at the same time. So often we've been jamming, especially like last month, we've been playing the weirdest shows because we played 3 shows with Wax a couple of weeks ago. One in Adelaide, one in Adelaide and 2 in Melbourne. And we played the 2 first shows as a 3-piece, which we'd never done before because it's weird. Our drummer was there for the first 2 shows and then away for the 3rd show.
Guitarist was away.
Guitarist was away as well. So
it was like 4 gigs in a week, all different lineups. None were the normal lineup.
How do you feel about them in hindsight?
It's fun.
It was really fun, They all went really well. The funny thing about the Sunday show with Wax was when Frank was playing, because he goes nuts in Press Club. He's an incredible drummer. But so some of our slow songs were playing like basically double time because he was going so hard. So like we're just trying to keep up. I'm like, oh shit, and like dynamically, like in all the soft parts that are normally like where it really comes down, he was just hammering,
plow right through it.
Yeah.
Why do you think anyone would listen to Neighbourhood Youth?
I think our music's always been pretty like emotive, pretty big sounding songs. I don't know. I like that sort of stuff.
How do you make them emotive? What part of the music does that?
There's a lot of focus on lyrics at the moment.
Okay.
We've sort of got a bit of a weird writing style where JP sings. I wrote most of the lyrics and send them to him.
Okay.
So often they're written before a melody or whatever. So I'll have him go and I'll write them down. I'll send them to JP. And then he'll come back with a melody, and it's always really interesting how he interprets it. Sort of different to how I imagine, but it's always a nice feeling. So.
So then, does that melody come with guitar parts, or
I'll have like an idea for how the song will sound, like the sort of feel and the sort of drum beat and stuff like that, chords and some guitar parts, and then and then we'll workshop it once we've got that. The core or whatever, the skeleton of the song, then we'll go through and just sort of add all the little bits and iron out the creases.
As a band kind of exercise,
Also with this album, like everyone else has been sort of adding to the writing process a lot more. I think everyone's a bit more confident now. And like previously, JP would have written, most of the music and everything. But we've got Liam, our other guitarist, is coming forward with songs, and he's singing lead on a couple of songs now.
Okay.
So it's cool. Everyone's doing their bit.
Do you find the lyrics are influencing the songs and the sound of the songs, depending on their content?
Definitely. It's the good thing about this style is because the way I'd write previously is like mostly just come up with melodies, or singing gibberish. But then once you start singing gibberish for an extended period of time, it really cements itself in the song to the point where you go, wow, I can't imagine not singing something like this. But then I think that is like to the detriment of the
it's
vocal.
it's really hard to try and convert the gibberish into real lyrics.
And it feels weird departing from that because you're so.
Because it's funny, you can sing the gibberish really emotively. Passionately. So you'll be like screaming out.
Yeah, screaming.
Gobbledygook.
Yeah. I think a lot of people write like that. Yeah. I've heard a lot of people that come up with their songs in that way, but then for us, once I start like that, I just can't I'm not good at making the transition from gibberish to English.
So often the songs are a lot more well-rounded if, the lyrics are pre-written and we can sort of write it.
It kind of gives it some sort of direction or course
exactly.
of
You can sort of get a vibe to how the song will sound just of the content.
So what got you into music whenever you started? Like, why did you start playing or why did you start writing lyrics?
Like, we started playing together in school. So probably we were 12 maybe. So we just always played music.
Yeah.
Was that a school-driven thing or just out of interest?
Not really, We
punk kids.
Yeah, we just all listened to pop punk and punk at that time.
Yeah.
And then all found out that each other listened to it in year 7.
Yeah.
And then we just started rehearsing. We used to every lunchtime at school, the school was actually really good it just gave us an opportunity to play pretty much every day. So every lunchtime we'd spend an hour and we had full rehearsal studios that had amps and drum kits and mics. Yeah. And we just jam in there writing punk ska songs.
Yeah. Good fun though.
Yeah.
And writing lyrics. Like straight out of school, I really wanted to be a writer.
Okay.
I went to uni for like 6 months and then I was like, nope. That's not for me.
This is killing my buzz, man.
Like, this is just school again. So I quit that, became a tradie. But I've sort of come full circle. Still a tradie, but I enjoy writing.
Do you write outside of the band? No.
You should.
I don't have time.
Yeah.
There'll be a sentence or something that I like, and then I'll write that down. Sometimes you get a whole song just out of a word or a sentence.
So you recorded a single at Avery.
Yep.
Down in Collingwood?
Yep.
Yeah.
How'd you find that? Have you done more there, or is it just that song? Or
we have. Well, or did we do 3 songs in one day there? I can't remember.
No, we did 2. Yeah, we did a couple at the Avery. Our friend Greg, who has recorded everything we've ever done, he's also in the band Press Club. He's got a little studio there as well where he does his mixing and stuff. So.
Okay. So the Avery has this shared space as well as the
the downstairs.
So he's got all his stuff set up in that downstairs room. We tracked everything upstairs, which was great. I love that place. It's a really nice studio.
Yeah.
Well, I was interested. It looks great.
Yeah.
But it's a nice room as well, right? It's
a great space. And this song's the first single that we've ever recorded live as well. So we were all set up in that room. So all the guitars and drums are all played at the same time.
Yeah, right.
Which was new for us.
Yeah. Yeah, everything we've tracked for the album has been live. All of us playing together. We don't stop until we all get the perfect take.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So again,
I think it works pretty well for us.
You seem to be pursuing inefficient ways of doing everything. Someone makes one small mistake, you got to go redo the whole thing.
Yeah. It's true.
So is the plan to then do different songs in different locations, or are you going to try and keep that?
Probably back
similar?
at the Avery. I think we did another few songs at another studio just because we had one weekend that was available. Just with all of our schedules, and the Avery was booked. So.
Right. Okay.
The other place was good. It was just a bit further away.
It's a great studio.
I think what we're going to do with the rest of the album though is just have everything completely written and do it all in a week or whatever. 4 or 5 days. Or something.
Do you put much consideration into how that can affect the sound of the album? If you're moving and doing it at different points in time, you talked earlier about you write songs based on what you're listening to that week in a kind of nutshell way. So potentially you could record half the album one week and it sounds like a punk rock record, and then 6 months later it sounds like Fleet Foxes.
Exactly. I like the idea of just having that kind of broad range of influences on one album. So it's a real shift and it's just representative of a period in time, however long that period is.
Okay.
So yeah, I kind of like the idea of that.
It becomes a characteristic of the album.
Exactly, yeah.
Is that harder to control, to keep it as, an album as one piece of work?
As a body of work sort of thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing if some of the songs sound a little bit different or they have a sort of different vibe to them. But I think as long as there's continuity in the album, and I think with this album we're trying to write songs that lead into each other and make it a flowing piece. We haven't done that before on other recordings, so we're going hard on this one.
Just to jump back and make this even messier, I should have thrown this in 10 minutes ago, but in your writing process, you're trying to get to that album level where the song is ready, that you can just play it in a room and hope that you get it in one take, that's the best you're going to get, work it whatever way you need. How does that writing process look? Once you've got your lyrics, once you've put a melody to it and you take it into that room with the for you, and how does that evolve? Is there a specific direction that you try and tear it apart or add bits and try bits and go different ways with it?
Yeah, in the past, there's been a few times where we've written a song and we're like, this is a hit.
Yeah.
Record it next week. And we do it and then we're like, maybe we didn't flesh this out enough.
Okay,
So I think we're, as we were saying, we take a long time, but it's sort of frustrating, but we also just want it to be good. We want it to be
as good as it possibly can be. Yeah.
It can work.
We don't want to rush it. Sometimes bands can have a really natural flow where they just belt out an album, and that's cool. But if that's not happening, then it's not happening. Just take your time, make sure it's good.
I wonder if King Gizzard will ever get writer's block. That'll be interesting.
I feel like
there'll be a 6-month gap between albums.
They've probably got the mindset that if they stop, they'll lose it. So.
Maybe, yeah, that's a good point. How do you get that perspective? Like, how do you know when a song is ready to record? Like you said, you've done it and you've jumped the gun maybe sometimes and gone, shit, that's not quite right. It's a fine line between going crazy on a song.
And undercooking it as well.
There's been a few where we'll have a sort of lock in a studio and we'll play a song all day, and at the end of the day we're like, this is fucked.
It's just not working.
I don't even know what this song sounds like. It's way worse than when we came in.
That's the most frustrating thing.
We've just fried our brains and ruined a good song.
and burned $400 or $500 in the process.
Exactly.
All right, so live, what's coming up?
We just had a big announcement a couple of days ago. We are going on a big tour next month, biggest tour we've ever done. It's called Up the Guts.
Okay.
With 3 other bands. It's a regional Australian tour, so we got a Melbourne show, Adelaide show, and then via bus we drive up to Darwin. And so we're doing lots of tiny towns that bands don't really tour.
Wow. I was going to say, when you call it Up the Guts, I thought, you're not going up the guts of Australia. It doesn't, but you can't call that if you're going up the East Coast. But you're actually going up.
We got a bus, so it's 18 shows, and we're playing these tiny towns and in some small communities where really, this tour, it's the second year it's been on. And they were saying some of the places bands have never toured.
Yeah, right. There's probably only 10 people living there, that's why.
And it also revolves a lot around workshopping through all the local schools and stuff that don't necessarily have music programs.
Oh, okay.
Just teach kids a couple of chords and...
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a good time.
Jeez.
So
how long is that?
August 10 we start at the Tote. It's the first gig.
Okay.
That's the Melbourne show, and then we're off, and then I think the following 8 days is a gig every day, and then a couple of days off.
Yeah, right.
So we got to all live together for a month.
So you're on the road for the whole month up through there. At least it's not too bad a time of year to go through there, weather-wise.
It's supposed to be pretty special up there at this time. So it's just very, very excited. We were saying that even if we weren't doing music, it would just be a beautiful time. It's I've never done an Australia trip like that. I've been up the East Coast, but the fact that we can do it with our buddies and the other bands and good friends with the organizer Jack Parsons, it's just doing it, playing music. It's going to be really, really
Yeah, like,
It's a nice experience. I see the poster there.
well, yeah, I just pulled it up.
Yeah.
Just as a heads up, it's just desert. It's boring. But, so who's put it on? Who's kind of driving it?
So Jack and Jimmy. Jack Parsons plays in a band called the Pretty Littles. So,
Oh, right, yeah.
Awesome Melbourne band. I think he just thought of the idea one night when he was like, I want to take the Littles on a regional tour.
Oh, okay, and
but
had
then
an excuse.
eventually
Yeah.
he was organising it, and he decided that I think he wasn't taking his band. He just got some bands he likes.
Yeah.
And now I think this year they got government funding because it's a good thing for
You're giving back to those
Australian music.
communities.
Yeah.
So it's pretty legit.
That's pretty cool. There's some decent sponsors on it as well. So
Yeah.
there's some good backing for it.
Yep.
Dumb Punts, Loose Tooth, you guys,
Yep.
Jack, Joe, and Joe. That's a cool name for a band.
Well, Jack is the organizer.
Oh, okay.
Joe is the chick from Big Scary.
Oh, right,
They're doing
okay.
like a set of covers and
Nice.
some of their own songs. And I think it's a bit of a party.
Cool. With touring, though, as a tangent, and this tour, I suppose, in particular, would be a test of it. How do you... Like, live is where the money is for music now, right? Or in your merchandise, but you sell merchandise through live shows. Australia is notoriously hard to do that. How do you... what are your thoughts on that? Like, how do you manage that as a band? Or approach it?
Like, touring and money is difficult for us because we seem to lose a lot of money. If we have a Sydney show, we're like, okay, we either got to take the day off to drive,
Yeah.
and lose out on a day's wage. It's a long drive. Got to drive back the next day or whatever.
Yeah.
Get paid a couple $100 for the show. You need accommodation. You lose money.
Fuel
doing it.
alone. Yeah.
You do it
couple
just to
$100.
get really. You just do it just to get your name out. If you fly, you'd lose heaps of money.
Yeah.
But you can potentially work the day
Yeah.
and fly after work. It's tough. Until you start getting really big gigs, you just sort of need to do it.
Melbourne's not too bad. There's a little bit of a regional scene, but to get to Sydney is a huge jump. And then if you want to go to anywhere else, the next port is Brisbane, maybe. and
Exactly,
that's-
yeah. So it's not like Europe or America where you can do those big stretches where you can have 30 dates and play every second night and just drive a couple of,
Yeah.
So
Another good thing about this upcoming tour is it's like a rite of passage for bands, or like everyone just does the same tour. You do Adelaide,
Yeah.
you do Brisbane, you do Sydney, and it's just like you go to the same places, and like everyone likes music,
Yeah, but there's only so many times you want to go see the same band in the same
so
place.
It's
yeah.
good. It's good to take it to places sort of off the traditional route.
Yeah, so that would be a good test of if that's actually a profitable route.
Yeah.
For future kind of plans. I can't imagine it being too much demand in certain places out there.
I think because they did the tour last year, and I think from all accounts they had some rough nights where I think they had like a full setup where they had 4 bands playing to 3 people.
Wow.
But
That'd be cool though.
Yeah.
Sleep under the stars and not
It's just
worry
a good
about it.
time as well.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, Neighbourhood of Youth. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Thanks for having
Cheers.
us.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Break your fingers laughing.